Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, depending where you are at your location on the rotation. My name's Sugi Yamagawa, and today on VTubing My Slow Life Hobbies in my 30s, I'm working on the second Japanese Sawhorse. So, for those unfamiliar with what I do on Yapping and Sawdust, Yapping and Sawdust is basically just me working on the project and just taking it easy. Like, I'm not trying to finish a project. I'm not trying to like rush it to conclusion or anything like that. It's just working on something, taking it easy, and that fun stuff. So yeah. But I do wish to do a really short yap about some stuff I got, well, going on a little bit. I mean, I don't know about all of you people, but as for me, I got fired up this morning by having some chainsaw time. So I now have, so with the work I did today, I now have all the small logs cut up. So I only have my two large maple logs, the ones you see like in the foreground there. Those are my last two logs as far as like getting all my firewood split. And also I did dice up some pieces of wood that had too much knots in them. And after dicing those and putting those in my woodshed's pretty much full right now. So now is also the time where I have to find additional firewood storage, but I also have some like game plans for that. So yeah, that's just kind of a little bit of what I did this morning. And I do actually, no, I'm gonna drop this back out. And then I do want to give a bit of a brief update, because I think it's gonna be fun to just like update and talk about this. But yeah, here are the seeds I started last Saturday. Yeah, last Saturday. So brassicas overall doing really good. I've gotten really strong germination. As you can see, I still need to thin out my seeds. Only real note with the brassicas, which the brassicas are like the back tray. They're not the like foreground tray. I do need to thin them out, but the kale's been a little bit slow to germinate, which is just a thing. The kale just hasn't germinated as quickly as like the other stuff. So just a observation there. I don't think there's anything real wrong. Granted, if we move to the forward tray, as you can kind of see, well, you may not be able to read the labels real well, but in the tray towards me, the front, you've got the two that look very barren and empty, and then you have the two on each side that have lots of green. The ones in the center are my leek and my chive starts. I do know my chive seed is a little bit old. I don't remember how old my leek seed is. So, in case anyone here doesn't know, a lot of the members of the onion family, you should ideally you buy new onion seed every year, because it does not keep well, like, at all. You gotta have fresh seed. You pretty much just have to have like fresh seed every year, just about. So, but the lettuce is doing all right, and yeah, so that's just like a brief update on that. But yeah, I just wanted to do like a quick little like yap about those couple of different things. So we're gonna be starting today. This piece right here, this is actually gonna be the main top piece of the woodshed. Not woodshed. Ah! I am having, wait, what? Ah, okay, that's what those buttons do. Neat. But you wanna grab this, our handy dandy diagram. So we're mostly gonna be working top and bottom. So this long centerpiece we're going to start off working on the mortises for it. And then my 2 shorter pieces I have on either side, those are going to be the feet. So we're going to start top and bottom. Historically, I am not the quickest at doing mortises, but I have noticed I've gotten better and better as I did more with the with the other woodshed build. Not woodshed, Sawhorse. I gotta stop thinking about woodsheds. Oi, oi. Okay, so I think this is enough yapping, and it's actually time for me to like grab measuring tools and start off. Oh, I did. Ah! Here's. Oh. That. Then. Because we're going to just start off marking up the first. This is going to be 30 centimeters. If I remember right, we did... Well, do a center point at 44 millimeters. Yes. Also, please bear with me. For I'm an American using imperial units, and I am going to just be a really awkward duck because my brain does not do super well. So I'm going to mark there, and then I want to be 15 meters this way, with 15 plus by 44 is... Oh, so far so good, and got our line there. So for the depth of the mortise, I want that to be actually 60. I'll have that mark. I'll grab my speed square. I like my speed. I have that line. This. Doing is wearing this on that line. It allows me to carry this over. So there is our mortise. Well, the beginning of the mortise marked. Granted, I also didn't. I may have mistaken. That's going to be the bottom. That'll be fine. I'm okay with that. I'm getting far too ahead of myself today. I need to slow down and take it easy. What I really should be doing. So, grab one chisel, grab my hammer, and I'm gonna just go ahead and start by go ahead and just sever the surface of the wood grain. So what this does when I go to work the mortise, the wood grain's not going to split out. Granted, we're going to actually see. Whoa! Hey, hammer, you picked the table there. Get that over a little bit. Okay. Done with prep. Well, the starting point of prep. Put that there, and I'm also going to just go ahead and have a little bit of oolong tea. Just help clear my mind a bit. last time on the earlier Japanese Sawhorse build, I used Fastener bits to pre-drill my mortise. I want to take a different result with that on this one. Primarily because, and this piece shows that, like this piece of wood. Yeah, that's the stuff I want to show. So these like darker areas, this is sap. This is like real high concentrations of sap in the wood. And I very much genuinely believe that drilling through this sap in this wood really did a number on my Fastener bit that I was using. So I really don't want to have to dull or like ruin another Fastener bit. So I'm going to be using these bits, and I'm going to be using these because, well, one, I can't, and two, I can actually sharpen. Cool. Be fine. Go ahead and go with the 8s. I just want. Oh. This is just going to be a lot of drilling. And also, these drill pretty well. Well, for the moment. Ooh. All the sawdust on it. Okay, cool. Needs to be at least around I'm gonna go a bit further past that. Nope. Not happening. Out. Okay. Oh. Don't drift, please. So, if you're drilling something and you got like your drill's wanting to go in the direction you don't want it to go in, you can come in that side, move over a little bit, and then bring it up, and you'll be good. Just a tip. So it looks like it's going to take to drill this. Okay, last. That dust out of there. Sawdust. Oh, we got 8 holes pre-drilled. And grab a different. I'm gonna grab a different chisel for this. So, I don't. That's a good stop there, but. So I need to. Pretty heavy. Right now I need to just figure out a good stop. Which. Ooh, that's. I like the angle. That's a reasonably good angle. So. We'll go ahead and start chiseling out this mortise. And I think I can have to hope for the best. How we're gonna be taking out the center of the mortise. Probably good. Don't want to head. Oh. From the sides. So, I'm gonna be working edges and. Woo! Hey. Okay, so my webcam cable was in the way of a hammer in its direction. I had to adjust that. Like, this is reasonably working out so well. Well, it's working out reasonably well, is what I mean to say. Admittedly, this is a new technique for me, so yeah. Never know how things are gonna go when you try something new. But so far, this is actually working pretty well. Like, we're making fairly good progress. No, it doesn't look like it, but hey, I'm happy. Granted, definitely like standard mortising where it's work. Hey, it's fun work. So, what I want to do after I basically get a layer down, I want to take a chunk out of this. And then hopefully okay, this is good. This is progress. I picked this method up just because I wanted to do something, because I didn't want to ruin my Fastener bits. I was looking for an alternative. We're making progress on this mortise. And reasonably good progress at that. So, happy camper. Also, the mortising works best. Woo! When you always have like a fill, like a void you're sending your wood to. Kind of the reason why you pre-drill, like I did, is that helps. It creates a void where the wood wants to go. It also creates weak spots. The wood as well, so that way it will want to give the way you want it to. I'm gonna do a couple, which is one of the big why I'm kind of doing stuff like this, where I mean, angle. This works really well. You're trying to like go under, pop up. There you go. You're gonna do really well with your mortising. And I have a lot of sawdust on this piece. So I'm gonna flip it over, get back to it. But yeah. Really good progress. Even though it's definitely a slighter amount of work versus yeah. Continue this mortise. That's course Backround. Just to go around the sides. Because that's what it feels like. Like me. Seems to be the ticket. Okay. And pry up. Pry up. Okay, okay. Go, there we go. Three in there. Hope everyone out there's been having a good weekend. My weekend's been pretty good. Weather's been slowly warming up, and then it's been able to get a little bit of yard work done. Still have a lot to go. Well, when you grow veg like I do, well, there's always work to be done. That's just like how things go, though. Big piece of center out. Thank you. Good, please, and thank you. Not so much? Okay, that's fine. Woo! Take it easy. Take it nice and easy. And one step at a time. Okay. I'm a hobbyist VTuber. I'm a take it easy guy. Woo! Okay, let's... Okay. Interesting. That. Go down this. I think we're looking good on that side of the world. So, take another center chunk out. Love to keep chunks out of the center. Kind of one of the things with this is as we go further down into the mortise, it's going to get harder and harder to take out those center chunks. Because you cannot get as good as the angle of attack. Okay. Woo. Okay, so that was a little bit of a knot down right there. Stuff out. And this is a really awkward position for but progress is good. Progress is steady. It's gonna be a matter of working the sides, getting the sides squared. That should be just big. At first you think you're going a little too deep, just shallow it out, or shift it to the side and take like just a bit of a corner. Wait. I haven't looked at super. Closest to. Don't mind, I'm going to be working this. This is way too full of stuff. Give stuff. All stuff. This is center. Ah. Woo! Got it. Now the question is, can I work this side? I got a pretty gnarly knot. That's making handling that side challenging, but it's also not a super large knot. So I'm hoping once I get past it, which close. Close. Thankfully, one of the things with mortises is they're not through mortises. For like this piece here. I just have to get them to about 6 centimeters deep. But yeah, there's gonna be a reasonable amount of dumping material. Woo. Okay. Oh. Yeah, this is the fun part of we are achieving a fair deal of depth with Mortis and dealing with all the difficulty that comes with it. I'm pretty confident that we're getting close on the end up, but we'll see. I don't want to get too confident. Overconfidence is the enemy. But good. Let's. Ooh. But actually, I can. Ooh, there it is. Oh, that real dark spot right there. That was the knot that was really hanging me up for a little while. Take a bit of a depth mix. Or still, but got an idea. Here's will be at the M. But I have amount of mortise cut. I am gonna actually More drilling. Sure. Holes are as deep as I want them. And I also got a lot of sawdust like down, so the holes weren't able to like accept a lot more sawdust. So make sure they were cleaned out, and I could actually like continue the work. Curious tea. Ooh, nice. Okay. So we'll bring this down. That side down. The steeper angles back are gonna get to me. Woo! Ah. But making progress going down, so as long as I can continue to maintain progress going down, I'm gonna be happy with my work. So happier if I don't hit any more knots. Taps there. Taking out some stuff here. And that's one step at a time. Granted, very much nearing the point where foods. I can. Okay. Go ahead. Oh. But yeah. Earlier, Progress quick. Now, progress not so quick, but it's honestly fine because how this goes. Just it is certainly a challenging thing. Make square holes in wood, especially without power tools. Okay. Good. Good. Ooh. Got a nice piece off. Large piece. That's what I like. Please make my life easy, a little bit easier any way possible, Wood. Okay. Get that. Okay. Too much. Sawdust. Wait. And just about that there. Relative. So. Also, my piece of wood's rocking. Probably said sawdust. Okay. Brother, how are you? Watching from India. India! Neat! Neat, SD99. Well, 1999. I never actually... I don't think I've had anyone from India. But yeah, welcome in, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Having a good day. But for now, I am currently just... Mortis. Yeah. And my depth. Ooh, I'm almost at my depth. So that's exciting for this one. Good depth on far side. So I just have the same depth on the other side. Great depth. This side, well, far side, and then this side. How's it going there? I'm doing all right. It's going pretty good. Today's been a good day. Certainly wish I could have an easier time of carving this mortise out, but it is what it is. Okay. Granted, I'm at that one side good. I gotta work on this side closest to me here. I've got good depth here. So I think what my strategy should be, work my side some. My side looking. That side's looking good. I'm in your channel. What do you do here, bro? I am a slow life hobbyist VTuber. So basically, I just VTube my slow life hobbies, which today is woodworking. I also do campfire cooking. Let's see, Friday I did lasagna over the campfire. Well, in the campfire technically, which was fun. It was exciting. I would say woodworking and campfire cooking are probably like the bread and butter of what I do on the channel. Well, like the main things I do on this. But I've done lots of other stuff. Like I've brewed beer on the channel, which I'm currently debating whether or not I should do another brew day or not on the channel. Because the thing with brew days is they're kind of samey. There's really not like a lot of difference in like the process between different batches of beer. So I try not to get super caught up on doing like, it's very similar stuff. Whereas like today, like these Yapping and Sawdust stuff, this is stuff I do mostly from a, like this is like supposed to be like a more kill stream. It's not supposed to be like super, not trying to knock this project out like today. Because that would be a lot of work. Not as high as it. Okay. But yeah, I'm a different kind of variety streamer. I am a variety streamer of hobbies, not of games, which I understand that makes me like reasonably weird, but it's what I like to do. So, and also what I want to see. Which is like the thing that's like, I came to your channel how to make lasagna search. I do gardening. That's my kind of slow hobby. Nice. Yeah. I'm still currently trying to figure out the logistics of doing some gardening stuff because that is one thing I want to do. One thing I want to do like really badly is I actually would love to do a gardening stream. Currently the closest that's the thing I can do that's like the most logistically easy is start seeds. And so I actually did all these seed starts a week ago, 1 week ago. So it's around the time of year at my location on the rotation to start my brassicas. So I've got the back tray, that's all my brassicas. And I've got I've got kale, cabbage, and broccoli on the back tray. And then the tray in the foreground, I have the one with 3-6 cells is lettuce, and then the 4 in front, that's onions. So, yeah, I can do seed starting. I did last year. I actually did a potato harvesting stream, which was really fun and also really ambitious and made my shop just like an absolute. But yeah, I am really wanting to do a gardening stream at some point. And also, one of the things I plan to do with the channel, it's not like immediate, but kind of like long-term goal, is I also want to like transition a bit more into edited content, or like, and not necessarily, well, like actually make like actual video. I have made a few like clips and such, but that's all. Those were really low effort. But I'm currently, well, I just recently bought a camera to do recording, and I am currently waiting for an SD card from Amazon. I'm hoping, well, one of my personal goals for myself is to work on doing one video a month. Not sure if I'm going to be successful in that, but I do that's a personal goal for me. As like a creator. But yeah, it's really interesting that you were like, like into looking up a lasagna recipe. I never thought Indians would be like super into Italian food, but Italian food's really good. I mean, India does have like curry, which is like really OP as a dish. Granted, I'm sure there's actually a lot more to Indian cuisine other than curry. I might have to do some research. Like any other like dishes that would be good for stream. Because that is a do is I actually want to like one thing one of the themes with the like the campfire cooking streams is they give me an excuse to learn new recipes. And that's actually kind of part of one of the larger, well, I'll go ahead and say main goal of the channel is the purpose of the channel for me is for me to grow my skill set as a person. To cover up, well, spare M. That word out where I'm at. Yeah, thankfully someone who about other foods than, because like India's a subcontinent. Like it has to have like cuisine other than curry. Like curry's great, but I'm sure there's more to it. I'm sure there's also like a lot of locales within India that have like their own like regional specialties. Because that's like, I mean, you got regional specialties all over like Europe. I think some part, I don't know about, I know Because, like, different places will always have different ingredients to work with. And having different ingredients to work with means different types of, like, food. Ooh, wow. But yeah, I'm gonna be kind of working the bottom of this mortise, and then probably gonna call it good. Don't want to spend forever on it. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call this mortise good. If I need to do a little bit more touch up, then I'll do that probably like off stream. So this piece of wood, roughly, well, 90 centimeters. As an American currently attempting to use metric system, just because my build plans for this were all in metric, centimeters feels so much more comfortable to me than mm. I'd rather use cm. I don't know why, but cm's seems like it's a lot more closer to what I'm familiar with. So be starting. So this line is going to mark one edge of my mortise, and it's going to start 14 centimeters from the end, like this. Squared and lined up. So the center point of this piece of wood is going to be 4. So I mark my center point, and then I want the width of my mortise to be 3 centimeters. So I'm going to 5 centimeters. Then going the other way, I want 9 mm. That's going to show. These are going to eventually become the lines for the other side of the mortise. But 6 centimeters across. Further out. There. And then that's going to be line for that side of the mortise. So here, square that off that line. So that way, this is a straight line. Arc. Follow it across. Boom. That's going to be one side of this, parallel to that. I can make that. And that's how I mark out the mortises. And I'm going to sip some tea. But yeah, that first mortise was not too quick, but we'll see if I can do this quick. But before that, I'm going to sever the surface of my wood fibers. Purpose of this is to make sure when I start like cutting. I think I've heard about an art where Japanese people make wooden furniture with only wood, no nails, no glue, nothing. Forget the name of the style of that art, my bad. I think so. I do know there's a lot of stuff in Japanese woodworking where it's all done with joint. That's actually kind of the purpose of today's build, is for me to familiarize myself with the techniques of it a little bit. Because basically, and this is going to be a Sawhorse. This is going to be a real simple thing. Like this mortise is going to accept a bird tenon. Tenon is going to slide into, well, actually, I can kind of, give me a second. I'm going to grab, I think the best example I had, this ain't the best example of the thing, but here's an example of the thing. So, here is first Sawhorse. Sawhorses are like pairs of 2. I'm currently working on the second one. Need... hammer's a good pointing out thing. Oh. There's a mortise in this long piece, which that's the piece I've been working. This has a tenon in it that slides into it, and see this tiny... There's a tiny little square here. There's a tiny little square way over here. Those are pins. Those are oak pins. So the tongue of this piece slides into this, and then I have a wooden pin in here that goes through them. Well, through both pieces. That's what holds it. And that's also the same thing on the feet. Actually come up a little, where you can see there's the oak pin there. For the crossbar here, that's actually held in by wedges. Here, there's... But yeah. This was the first one I built. And now, second one. That's also kind of the reason why I do this as like a more like kill stream thing, whatever. Just because it's I'm pushing my skill set here doing this. If I seem awkward, yes, I am awkward at what I do, but I do have fun doing this, and I am one of those weird people who gets a lot of joy out of expanding his skill set. And that has led me to being a well, maybe not crazy, I feel like might be a strong word, but I pick up a lot of hobbies. Granted, I'm also trying to like pursue a little bit more of my hobbies in depth. Like this is pretty, as far as like woodworking in terms of like skill and effort and such, this is like mid tier, I feel like. Cutting mortises, cutting tenons, measuring stuff up, like to make everything fit together, like nice wooden jigsaw puzzles. It's not super hard, but you do have to be really mindful about how you do it, and also just like cutting mortises in general is a little bit challenging. Versus, and excuse me one moment, I'm going to go to another side of the shop and I'm going to grab an example of an easy thing. Here's an example of a project. Oh, wow. Nice. Okay, well. Shogunai. But yeah, it's a nesting box for birds. It's literally a couple pieces of cedar. I do have a piece of pine on top as a roof. And this is literally just pieces of wood held together with screws. Screws there and there. Then I've also put like a little bit of silicone here at the top because I actually hand cut all these boards, and I didn't put like a real nice angle for the roof. So I had, well, there's a gap here, but that's because this part would actually grab knife to remove here. And I've got two top. It's beautiful, thank you. But yeah, this actually is hinged, so it opens up. That's because this is specifically a bluebird nesting box. Bluebirds are a species of bird native to North America. There's 3 species. There's an East Coast species, a West Coast species, and a one that kind of just lives in the Rocky Mountains, because I guess one's gotta be weird like that. But yeah, there's ventilation holes in the top. Fortunately, this is kind of expensive. Oh, otherwise I would have picked. Okay. Yeah, because I know like some stuff. I don't know. Because there's like yeah. I mean, so this is actually all cedar lumber, which I was actually able to get from like a local sawmill that actually just specializes in this stuff. That's why it's like this like purpley red color. But it does not stay this purple red color for very long. It actually made in a brownish color. For example, here, this color, because it's really pretty when you work with it and you have it like this, but eventually this color will turn into this like dull brown color. But this is a wood that's really good for like outdoor applications. It's pretty rot resistant. So, and it's also pretty easy to work. And then there's also like hard level, but I'm not going to tackle hard level. Moderate level is already pushing me out of my comfort zone, but that's where you grow as a person, by getting outside your comfort zone. Okay, so I'm gonna put this back and that's gonna go over there, and then like this. So I've been re-drilling some holes, mostly just to get, so that way when I start like cutting the mortise, there's some like, basically I'm trying to create like natural weak points where the wood's gonna want to split from. Otherwise, if I were to try it and like hand cut it out, it would be really challenging for me to do so. Drilling a hole. Okay. Halfway there. Oh, too close to the edge. Try doing. There we go. Hey. Go, and final one. There we go. There's our weakness holes. Make it a lot easier. Mortise this out. Which to be one of the fun things when you're at the top, you can do a really shallow angle of attack, and you can get really good splits like this. Actually get like real nice like full chunks out of the mortise. So it's really easy in the beginning, and then it just gets progressively more challenging as you get deeper down into it. But yeah, one of the reasons I actually picked up woodworking as a hobby is I'm actually well, how do I put this? How do I put this nicely? I'm a little bit obsessed with trees. Be 100% honest. That's one of the reasons why I picked this up as a hobby. Is I am a huge fan of trees, and I just see woodworking as an extension of liking trees. Because this wood used to be a tree some, well, was a tree. And now it's lumber and it's materials, and I'm turn it into a useful thing for my shop. And I also a secondary reason why I picked up woodworking was I wanted to make stuff. I wanted to be a person who made things. Because previously I was just I did a lot of consuming. Slow livings is the ultimate luxury. Working on your hobbies, being happy, building something that is something that can't be expressed with words. Yes. Low life. Well, I feel like the greatest thing with slow life living is being able to tackle life on your terms. For example, this project right here, it doesn't matter to me when I get this project done. Like, as long as it gets done, I can take my time. I'm sure there are numerous instances in both our respective lives where we've had work deadlines and we've had to really work really hard and have to deliver the product, deliver the result that the employer wanted. I feel like that's the really best thing about slow life is it is life, but on your terms. Whereas I'm still very much in my I have to work for a living years. But I am hoping to retire someday. And yeah, it'll be absolutely wonderful to spend my time building things, making things, and just generally engaging in life on my own terms. Felt like it did. A little bit popped loose. Okay. But yeah. And also see, when you're doing the first part of the mortise, this part goes really easy, real quickly. Real easy to get large chunks out. Real easy to just blast wood out. And it all gets gradually more challenging as you get deeper into the mortise. Well, hey. But yeah, I'd say that's like probably the best thing. You have a wood shop? Kinda, sort of. I have a garage. That's my shop. Is my garage, which is where I'm at right now. I don't have a commercial building. I do not have a commercial building dedicated to exclusively to my hobbies, which, I mean, honestly, that's like peak goal right there, is to have my own dedicated shop to work in. That would be amazing. I would love that. But that is a future thing. A few tips on getting started with woodworking. Okay. The best thing you can do with getting started in woodworking is start small and start building things that are like small and something you want to build. For example, like the bird box I showed earlier. That's a really good place to. Small projects is always like the best way to learn woodworking is to do woodworking. So find small things that you can do. Don't worry about trying to like create like super complicated things or anything. Feel free to take it slow and easy in the beginning. And tools. So with tools, don't be afraid to buy cheap tools. These chisels I am using, and the rest of these chisels I unfortunately scooted off the backside of my workbench. These were Harbor Freight chisels, which, if you don't know anything about Harbor Freight, it's basically cheap tools. And I bought like a whole set, like 6 chisels for like $10 USD. These are cheap, but cheap also works. And yeah, feel free to start with cheap tools. Start whatever your budget is. And if you break your cheap tools, then that's how you know, okay, I now need to get a more expensive version, something with more durability. Always feel free to start like with cheap tools and then upgrade as you go along. Actually, another example of cheap tools is my miter saw. Well, I can actually show, kind of, you kind of see it there, but this is my current miter saw. I started off with a much cheaper, well, not even cheap. It was just an old miter saw my dad had lying around, and then I had to, but it was limiting, so I eventually upgraded to that. Start building stuff. Don't be afraid to use cheap tools. And my throat's starting to get itchy, so I'm gonna sip some tea. I'd say those are like my 2 big tips. other than I briefly mentioned, like, build things that are like meaningful to you. Trying to think what else here. Like other good getting started point. Well, also another thing with like cheap tools, don't be afraid of used tools. Those tools are usually going to be a lot more affordable. So yeah, there is a lot of woodworking is definitely one of those hobbies where you see lots of expensive tools, especially like here on YouTube. That's actually kind of a thing I want to like sort of do as like a niche, is be like, hey, you can just build stuff with standard well, so the miter saw I showed, which is an upgrade over my past one, it's a skill. Skill's kind of a budget brand. Very budget friendly. It's not like super expensive. It's not Festool, which there's some real funny jokes and things in like the woodworking YouTube community of people throwing shade at people who use Festools because Festools are like the big expensive tool. Like they're like the best of the best. And they're personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with using tools like that. It's just I kind of want to showcase like, hey, you can just have like regular tools you can get at regular places you buy tools from. Like you can't just walk into a Lowe's or Home Depot and just walk out with Festool. Neither one of those stores carry that. So, but yeah, that's most of like, yeah. Don't be afraid to use cheap tools and start building stuff you want to build, and also just keep things simple. Keep it simple and try not to make it too complicated. Don't expect a lot out of yourself either. Oh dearie, I'm gonna go grab that birdhouse again. Because this birdhouse has flaws. So, for example, flaw number 1, which is I have a little bit of wood splitting here. And this wood split off like this because of this driven fastener. So that's a flaw. That's a mistake. Gosh. Yeah. Kind of a slightly better view. But yeah, don't be afraid to make mistakes and don't beat yourself up over mistakes. So, like here, like the bottom view of like thing, kind of see that it's not super square. It's fine. Like, this is still going to be it's still going to be good bird habitat, which is my goal, is to make a piece of good bird habitat. And if I actually get a nesting pair of bluebirds this year, that's mission accomplished. So don't beat yourself up over your mistakes. Learn from them. Be better about it. Another piece of advice. I really need to sip some water now. But yeah, those would be like my main pieces of advice. Don't be afraid to use cheap tools. Build projects that are meaningful to you, and don't beat yourself up over your mistakes. Because as long as you learn from your mistakes, it's not a mistake. It's a lesson. And all the people who are like really good at woodworking and stuff on like YouTube, they had to start somewhere. And that's fine. We all have to start somewhere in terms of our skills and our hobbies and such. Just if you don't start, you don't begin the journey. So there's actually a really old cartoon from when I was a child in like the 90s, called The Magic School Bus. And basically the main character of the show, Miss Frizzle, the teacher, she had a saying, and the saying was, get messy and make mistakes. That was kind of like that was one of the themes, because that's like how you learn, is you get messy and you make mistakes. And then you learned from that, and then you're now better. Because you exposed yourself to something and you learned from it. That is the best way to get better at something. It's to just get into it, start getting your hands dirty, start having some fun. Like, life's too, like, boring and such to not have fun with. At least in my opinion. But then again, I'm also like this really weird and silly version of a VTuber. We should pay more attention to how he's hammering. See what I'm doing, so I got real. Well, and speaking of mistakes, so got a mortise making here and a mortise we're making here, which I pre-drilled. Here I did not drill through. Here I drilled through a little bit. Oh well. Not a big deal. So, the purpose of a sawhorse is to hold and support workpieces, and that mistake does not impact the functionality of sawhorse. It's going to be an aesthetic thing. Sure, but it does not impact the functionality of that which I'm trying to make. So, overall, in the end, it's okay. Get that bit closer to that edge. I'm gonna get better results with that. This number, even though it's really hammer like that, but that's what will the world. Get messy, make mistakes. Wow, so true. Yes. Yes. Get messy, make mistakes. Also, do things in such a way to give yourself as so there's a saying called a kind learning environment. And what a kind learning environment is a learning environment where if you make a mistake, it's not a big deal. For example, like this project. And also just like a little bit about kind of woodworking in general, sort of. If you're building projects for yourself, guess what? You're building that project for yourself. It only has to be up to your standards in a way that most makes sense to you. Whereas, who knows? If I was this for someone else, well, if I was building this for someone else, I'd real bad to have like drill holes on like the top part of like the Sawhorse that you're really gonna. That's just gonna look bad. It's make me look bad. But my Sawhorse for my shop, it can have mistakes. That's fine. That's something I can look at and be like, hey, remember that time I did that thing? That mistake? Let's do something on the next project to not make that mistake anymore. Also, it's kind of getting into like a technique thing, but there's also like a lot of ways in woodworking to hide your mistake. I mean, I can't show it on like this, but But yeah, there's various ways in which trying to gather my thoughts. Because in some woodworking projects, not everything is going to be seen. And sometimes just take your mistake and park it in a part of the project where actually have a headboard. Well, I have a headboard project kind of sort of behind me. And the thing with a headboard is one side is going to be facing the bed, and that's the side you see. And then there's another side that's going to be facing the wall. Feel free to like park any mistakes, anything you do on the project like that, aside towards the wall. That way, guess what? It's there, but guess what? It's also hidden. No one's gonna see it unless they try to move the headboard. Which, they see it then, they're gonna be like, oh, okay, whatever. They're gonna see it, make a note. Probably be like, oh, there's this like chipped out piece of wood, or like there's this like weird drill mark, whatever. And then they're just gonna go about doing what they're doing and not worry about it. Or at least, ideally. I don't know if movers would care about various like imperfections in furniture that they're moving. I have not moved in so long that I don't really know much. Well, I don't know much about like what they think, because I've been at this house for 20 years. Well, it's 20 years this year, so I do not know how the movers think. And I have helped several of my friends multiple times. And I will say, on the subject of friends and moving, if you're gonna help a friend move, or if a friend is helping you move, make sure all your stuff is boxed up for the day of the move. Because I had a friend once who was all like, yeah, help me move and stuff. And I'm like, sure, no problem, buddy. I got you. I show up to his house on the day of like move, and he had barely anything boxed up. He thought he could just box this stuff up in like a few hours, and then we can then move all the stuff. And it's like, dude, no, not how you move, buddy. You spend days in advance slowly boxing up your belongings, and then on move day, the only thing we should have to worry about is getting everything like moved. So before making a craft, do you have to think about the joints and everything in your head from the different angles first, right? Okay, so really good question. I'm gonna empty the sawdust out of this, and I'm grab this one. So I'm actually building this from build plans, and there's actually a link down below for the build plans for that. So, and then like any project, the most important thing is having a vision. And what a vision is basically having, which is kind of relating to what you were talking about, is you want to have an idea of what you're doing. In my case, this image you see on the screen is my idea. This is what tells me where stuff needs to go. I think I can start by trying to make a squared. Ooh, nice. A tea table. That sounds real nice. But yeah, I had this image here. I don't think I do. Not right now. Let's see. I have it parked. Oh. Okay, so I already have that. That, yes. Cool. But yeah. That's the image there. I'm trying to look to OBS to see. Oh wait, I've got 5. What's my image 5? Oh, this F. Oh, that thing. Okay, well, I need to stop fussing around because I do not have that. Oh, I had it, but I don't. Oh wait, I need. And do. Yes. Oh, we'll just bring this down a little bit. But yeah. I always try to start with a vision. Sometimes a vision takes the form of what you see here. There's like actual like build plans with lots of fancy measurement, yada yada yada. Other times it will be simple. Like, well, it'll be like a picture. And that will just give me like an idea of what I want to build. I was actually looking through my images to see, because I actually did the first part of the headboard project on stream, and it's basically a big slab of wood in the center with 2 posts on the side, which is a really simple, really straightforward vision, which is kind of what since I'm still kind of on the newer side of this hobby, I wanted to keep things simple. So, yeah. Keeping mine simple is always always a great way to make your life easier. Because if you keep things simple, it's a lot easier to correct mistakes and like that. Whereas try to make it complicated off the bat, a lot. One, it's going to be more challenging, but it's. I know some people can feel a little bit more frustrated when stuff doesn't work out. And you don't want to put yourself in a position where if you're trying something new, you don't want to disappoint yourself. Especially if you want to like really get good at it. Talking about like gardening, when people first get into gardening, some people want to grow like hard to grow crops. Like, well, actually, I think yeah, onions are a little challenging. Whereas if you're just starting out, you're kind of better off like growing tomatoes. Tomatoes are really simple, straightforward to grow. And also depending on like, well, at least as far as like getting started in gardening, you always want to start off with like easy to grow crops that you yourself will also enjoy eating. Which me would be like tomatoes, lettuce. I am a huge fan of salads. Salads are amazing. Worked. A lot of material on these sides that I need to shave down and to get my hole a bit, well, the mortise where I want. I'm just gonna shave my side stand. Head and yeah. Basically, good at progress in this direction because this is the easiest side for me to see. Also, I would also say like if you're getting into like I will say streaming it does make it harder. In my case right now, I don't have like access to the best views. I can't like manipulate myself around my workpiece. But hey, this is the big thing with me is I inadvertently end up always trying to do a really challenging and hard way. Just because, just like, ooh, I want to do this. And it's like, buddy, that's a very challenging way to do that. Are you sure you wish to do so? And I'm like, yeah. Is human being. Sometimes I do things the hard way. I also acknowledge my weakness. actually another motivating factor for streaming this is if I feel like if I didn't stream it, I wouldn't be motivated to work on projects. My crazy harebrained plans is by streaming this stuff. When you're like a content creator, well, when you do this type of stuff, you gotta like do this stuff. You gotta do stuff consistently. And my goal with streaming this, force myself to consistently build projects. Basically, put myself in a position where I have to work on projects. I have to build. Part of my motivation. Be like, hey, I want to be good at this. Force myself to be good at it by doing it often. Oh, send me. I still got to take a certain amount of slow life approach to it. Because if I didn't do that, then I wouldn't be on brand anymore. I can do it as a little chunk. Divide and conquer. Ion side. We're gonna slowly be working on it. Just with this, even just doing some light scrape and doodle. A lot of stuff in there. Getting there. We're actually getting close. Ick. Big chunks. Center. Sides. That wood's got room. That wood's got a direction where it's gonna kind of naturally want to go. But yeah. Taking it easy and being in the hardcore streamer is a big part of the Sugiyamagawa experience. Definitely. I'm comfortable as an individual stating I am very mid at what I do. But I say that also from the perspective of I'm not going to be mid I will get better. Actually, an example of how I have, well, one example of like how I felt like I've improved as a streamer is I feel like I've done reasonably well at getting better at yapping, especially if I'm doing something like this, like something I don't have a lot of experience at, and I tend to be a bit of an awkward duck at. But hey, if I can keep the conversation flowing, relatively, yeah, I'm doing good. And also, camera angle. I was pretty disappointed, like looking back through some of my earlier VODs of me doing work like this. I'm like, man, I can't really like see the action too well. So I, instead of going from a top down, I actually got the camera off to kind of the side. So, all incremental improvements. How I get better at nicely. Feel close to this side. By being like at the reasonable amount of depth I want. Which if it does end up getting really close to the depth I want, I'll be pretty ultra happy about that. I'm gonna dump that. Looked out a chunk just now. And up. Also on there. Definitely have a lot more work. Definitely reach close to the part of not too. We're at the more challenging part, but we don't have a lot further to go. Granted, it is a little. I am a little disappointed that I haven't gotten more work done at this point. Like nearly 2 hours of streaming, I don't have a full. I basically have like two. I have 2 more assists to show for this level of it. I suppose it's also another thing you can do, like getting into like hobbies and such. Be on yourself. Take your time. Don't try to rush results because it's really hard to make good results if you rush. Sure. It's fine. Being unsure of yourself. Lots of people are unsure of themselves. But we all manage to get up in the morning and hopefully throw our best versions of ourselves at the life we gotta live. At least that's the type of person I want to be. Person who best of myself at my life. Sorry. There was a really strange noise coming from outside. And I don't think it's like a bad thing, but it's a really peculiar noise. And I can't describe it. What was that? Neighbors, what are you doing? Okay. I'm gonna definitely gonna be looking outside after stream. I can't identify the mystery noise. Genuinely curious about it. All reasonable. Anyway, I'm gonna have to do moving forward, especially as I'm getting real close to it, is I'm probably gonna have to take a lot more time. Yeah. Is revolves a lot around. Alright. Oh! Thank you. You're a good person to hang out with, but it's getting late here, brother. And I'm sleeping now. Good night from my side. Catch you on your next video. Ah, thank you. Have a good night, SD1999. And a good night. Crafty Cat. Hi. Hi. Oh, wow. Wow. So many people coming in. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. How are you doing, Crafty Cat? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're not trying to struggle to do anything like I am trying to clean out the bottom of this board. Brandon. Dude, I'm gonna do a little bit more work, and we're gonna see how this turns out. Here you are, almost where I want to be. Okay. So I want to double check. I'm doing quite all right. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? I'm doing pretty good. Kind of wish I was making a bit quicker progress today, but other than that, good. Oh. It's here. Hard to see. There. That's gonna be like our depth gate. Oh. Our side, we're really good. That's good. Okay. Oh. So, just poking a couple different spots. Woo! Okay. Cool. So, that's gonna be... That's that mortise done. We've got that mortise done. This is our top piece, which I did, unfortunately, a little bit by drilling through the piece because I wasn't supposed to do that. I didn't do it here, but I did it on the side, so whoopsie doodles. Yeah, I'm gonna finish off my oolong tea. Man, that's good stuff. Oh, tea's good. Not sure where most people here are on like the coffee and tea debate, but I'm definitely on team tea. I'm proud of it. Okay, so I'm gonna take this and it's gonna get set off to the side. And we're gonna grab this. So I want double check. I want to double check. So I wanted to double check my build plans for this piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and mark out this. My halfway, like this. But yeah. Basically, the game plan is I'm gonna get this marked out. This one's actually gonna be a through mortise, so I'm gonna actually be going straight through this piece of wood. So that's actually gonna make it a little bit easier for me. Yeah. What, 70? Yeah, want to be 7. Also, from my center line, set that at 3.5. That side. Go ahead. So this line is the edge. That line is the next edge. So I'm find my center is at 4.4. That's there. I did it for the other ones on the one edge line. Try to be consistent. So, that's going to be center. For the width of the mortise, I want that to be 3 centimeters. 1.5 off each side. There. Those are going to be my marks. Square up my ruler off that line. Be able for me to make a really straight line there. Then this side. And that is a mortise positioning fully marked. Yay! But because I'm doing this as a through mortise, I have to do the other side. Ooh. That's That's gonna be fun. That's a knot. Make this fun. Oh yeah. For straight edge. So I'm actually gonna make this the backside of the, and I can be a little bit off with what I'm doing here for this one, because I mostly can mark this out for one, and that is, I'm gonna get a lot of what's called chip out for when I actually really start cutting into the mortise. Today's been a good day. It's a day. I've got my lines marked this side. So with my line marked, go ahead and cutting the top layer of the wood fibers. All I gotta do. Just 2 quick taps. All it takes. Need to do a better job of getting that straighter. This is going to go a long way in terms of helping me not get chip out, because I am going to get some. But this is going to help prevent me from like having a lot. Don't want to have a lot. But yeah, these grooves, they're going to help me out a lot with having bad chip out. So go further. Work here. I'll have a backer. This is going to be the top. Since this is going to be the top, this is actually most of my work of going through. But I always start off like this. I also wish to avoid chip out on this side. Ooh. Be having I'm going to be having a lot of fun later today. Because a friend of mine, he hit me up the other day and was like, "Hey, buddy, deal with actually covered some house. It looks like I'm going to be working on drywall later today." Okay, so with all that done, I'm going to grab my handy dandy drill coon, be drilling some holes. Great weak point. Fun thing about these holes, because get through this, I'm free to go straight through the piece of wood. I'll be drilling 8 of these holes. Oh, that felt like it off a funny angle. That one left. No, no, no. That way. Can't get this back on. There we go. Let's see, I got a couple holes on the side. That one went through. Out of there. Woo! Ooh. That one was really hard. Was pretty close to the knot, though, so that makes sense. And one last one. And with that, I've got through holes. Both sides. Oh. One of my hopes with this is, since I am trying to this from both sides, hopefully will do what I want it to do. Because I want to create because of how I'm going to be chiseling them, I just want to make sure I have a backstop so that way when I chisel and hammer it from this direction, my piece of wood does not want to go that way. Actually, make my life a little bit easier. Lamp. I'm literally just going to be placing the clamp on backside. And that's just going to help create a backstop basically behind my model. That way it doesn't shift too much. But yeah, this is a big reason why we do a lot of the going around the edges to kind of stuff out. That is to keep it from tearing too much. Otherwise, when you're trying to cut your mortise out, it's gonna want to tear. How it's gonna be. So always pre-chisel your sides a little. You'll get less tear out and you'll get a lot better quality work out of your chisel work. Granted, this piece is also lighter than the piece I was working with earlier. So it's going to want to move more on me. So I got to be a little bit more careful about that. So the small thing I got to do. Small thing I got to worry about. Think of that. There. Yeah. Because today's thoughts is thumbnail. Actually, how I make some of the thumbnails for my. So kind of sometimes I'll use like an old screenshot as like a placeholder thumbnail. And then I'll actually take a couple screenshots during the stream, and then I will place I'll replace the thumbnail with a screenshot from stream. Kind of how I do things. It's a low effort way of doing it, but also a pretty. This is a reasonably low effort operation. You know. Please don't have any super great expectations of me. Ah, yeah, there you go. There you go. Granted, another thing about this Mortis that is making it weird, but is the fact that it's actually wider. So I can get some better angles on it. It's real nice, actually. Lovely. It's very lovely, Kins. Granted, wood being lighter. The other piece of wood had like enough weight to it to help stabilize it while I was working it. This one, not so much. Not so much here. This side some love. Go get another one in there. Let's keep this momentum going. Keep chiseling out going. Woo! Hello. Oh, I was not expecting the amount of people to have in, but hey, welcome in. Welcome in. I hope you are doing well. I gotta say, I'm doing pretty all right. Just slow and steady progress on my work. Getting to the point. What? I'm gonna go ahead and do myself a favor. I can drop this back and see what I'm doing a little bit better. You guys can kind of see the progress a little. Yeah, that's tough. Woo. Wait. And this piece is... I can actually do things with this piece I couldn't do with my other piece. This. I want to work that side. I can easily flip it around and do so. So, this is actually turning out a lot easier and nicer than the first piece I was working on. The first piece I was working on was, oh boy. Very challenging. This, it's actually not too challenging. And at some point, I'm going to do a measurement and figure out if I've hit my halfway point on this. Once I'm... Because the cool thing about the through mortise is once I'm about halfway through, I can actually just switch up, start attacking this from the other side. So. But I'm still going to be continuing to do work I'm going to do here for a little. I know for a fact I'm nowhere... Well, I might be getting close to halfway, but I don't... My mortise is now full of tips. I think I should be. Every time I clean it out, I should... Smaller chisel. Smaller chisel. Every time I clean it out, go ahead and flip it. And then that way, when I flip it, I can keep attacking each side. The first piece I worked on did not lend itself well to the strategy that I'm using here now. But this piece... Oh. Interesting. So it looked like split second there. The chisel was just going through. I think I got two holes really close together. And that's what was causing that. So. But one of the fun things about, well, I like the through mortise because it's my chisel the full way. What's my halfway? Grab. Here's 5 centimeters, roughly 10 centimeters, and where the V is roughly my halfway. Ah, okay. We're really looking close to the good halfway point on one side of this mortise. All those chunks, I can't see what I'm doing. So we'll flip the wood around, get it locked in, and we'll keep attacking. Up a little bit. It doesn't look really good. And I want to straighten out, take a little bit of time, straighten out these sides. There we go. So I think after I am somewhat reasonably satisfied with the attacks I've made here, go ahead and flip this around, and what we'll do is we'll actually start attacking it from the other side, because it'll be a lot easier that way. Mortises actually get a lot harder to cut the deeper you go. Sure. Possible before I commit to switching over to the other side. One of my goals, well, one of my hopes is when I get to the other side and I start chiseling down, hopefully at some point this will just break. Why I'm now going around my edges, I'm making sure I have really good score marks on them. I'm make sure I have really good score marks here. That way, as much material out as I can. Hopefully. Okay, I need water. Oh man, I love water. Okay. Oh. Kinda. This is looking at right. Pretty close to the halfway. I mean, I feel like we're pretty much about there. Halfway wise. Oh. Go ahead and we're tackle it from. This is going to be a little bit challenging. We do have this knot here, so I suspect that knot's going to give me some trouble. So I'm going to kind of do my first move here. Slowly cutting this out. Probably going to notice here is a lot of this stuff is going to split, but it's going to stop as soon on my stopping as soon as I get close to the knot. Not things are going to really not want to stop off. Be very resistant. That's because knots, the wood grains twist, they don't tend to run in quite a linear fashion versus if you're like in the straight grain areas of the wood, like there. So it is a little bit easier for me to attack this side. Because when you're close to the surface, I can take like really shallow attack angles. But I also am unfortunately dealing with a knot. But I'm hoping as I get knot, it'll get easier and easier. But yeah, I've been noticing from earlier, difficulty is definitely up here. Definitely having a brief spike of difficulty. But that's just because of the nature of this knot. Which it's not really, like, it's not the biggest issue, but it's just more like this is going to affect my pace. On this side with, like, pure wood grain, it's not so bad. Like, it wants to come out. But if I'm working the knot side's going to be a little bit resistive of me, and yeah. Woohoo! That's that resistive knot right. But it will. I will get this material out. It's just the reality is it's just not going to be easy for. This kind of how I have to handle this area of the material is I have to like hit it from both sides, basically. That's it. That's just takes multiple attacks. And I do love it when I get real nice like chips for 'em. Kind of fun to have some like, actiony bits. Woo. And woo. Gonna look. I should Or I should be continuing my self-admittedly good plan of flipping the mortars every time I take care of a side. Granted, have experienced a brief increase in difficulty level with it. But I don't ever seem to get lucky with having absolutely not free wood. I just cannot seem, for the life of me, to get that lucky. But who knows? I'm going to hold out hope for one of these days where things go a little bit more smoothly. But granted, for now, just gonna keep slowly and steadily working on it. And hopefully we will get to where we want to go. Hopefully, let's see. Hopefully before my buddy before my buddy finishes his stream, because he's probably gonna call me. Be like, hey, buddy, you ready to help me fix the problem? And I'll just go, sure, buddy. Ooh. Okay. Oi, oi. Close. We're slowly getting close. It would be the more accurate term, unfortunately. But we will make progress with it. Just the progress may not happen in the timetable I originally hoped, but I'm also dealing with a knot. It's just what happens when you get a knot in your wood. The wood grains twist, and it makes it really challenging to work the piece. That happened. Yeah. Wood works fairly easily if it's straight grained. Knots are also another thing you gotta watch out for when you're splitting wood, because the knots will always resist the splitting of the wood. So when you're trying to like split firewood and such, hit a knot, you're just like, this thing is gonna wanna fight me now. To which I replied, that's why I have wedges. Ace is there. Oh, gotcha. Granted, I also think one of these days I should probably make it more of a point to buy and work with or not free lumber. But hey, hopefully that's a lesson I can pass on the future me. Woo. Ahead and out. My piece back in. Continue. Open session. Be the point where I break. Peak. What I want to happen. Yay! Okay, so good news is we have made it through. Bad news is we still gotta deal with the knot. Let's do. That would break easier. basically not a lot of back. There we go. Got a little bit of a corner left to work. Yeah. Actually real nice to... It's nice to be able to see what I'm doing. Okay, got the rough shape of the mortise cut out. But I will also say, with this mortise cut, I will be ending stream because I have a friend who wants me to help him out with some home fixing up, and yeah. So I'm gonna get one last sip of water. I want to go ahead and give everyone who tuned in a big thank you. Thank you very much. I will not... I don't know when I'll have a schedule out, but I should have it out by like tonight. I know what I want to do for my Tuesday, Thursday streams. I'm not entirely sure what I want to do for the weekend, or if I'll just take the weekend off to work on other stuff. I don't know yet. But yeah, this is Sugi Yamagawa here, and thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope everyone here has a wonderful rest of your day, night, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. And I'll see you all in the next one. Okay, bye-bye.